All right, guys, so this is how I like to do product research for dropshipping when I'm not, using AliExpress or Amazon. So we talked about AliExpress separately as it's like one of the beasts, and we're going to talk about Amazon in one of the next videos as well because it's also a beast. I wanted to dedicate kind of their own videos since they're so massive and vast. And for this video, I want to go over some of the other ways that I like to use, some of the other platforms that I like to use to do product research that aren't, two of the main ones. So this is Kickstarter.com. For those of you who don't know, it's a crowdfunding platform. It basically allows you to, create an idea and the marketing materials behind the idea, and then people out there will fund your idea, to get the first copy of it. Like for example, so what I like to do on Kickstarter is organize by popularity. So Kickstarter.com/discover/popular. So this is everything sorted by popularity. You can also do, trending. You can do projects that they love. If you want to do, things like maybe you want to get into the craft niche, using crafts or technology or whatever it is, right? There's a lot of different options here, but I'm just going to do everything just to kind of show you guys how it works for the 4,600 or so live projects. And the reason that we're looking at crowdfunding, guys, is because I've heard about and I've actually seen and experienced in one circumstance where people will kind of see these ideas and they'll bring them to market, right? They'll change the idea, they'll make it their own. Maybe they'll add like a new little feature, or they'll create some improvement on the idea, and they'll bring it to market faster than these people will on Kickstarter. And so Kickstarter, the beauty of it is you basically validate your idea. If you get, $50,000, $100,000, $1 million in funding, you can damn well know for sure that people are interested in that specific product, right? And so then if you can browse these, figure out an idea, add your own creative element to it, and bring it to market faster, right? If you can drop ship it and get a store together all within a day, which you will know how to do by the end of this training, I promise you guys. If you can do that and get it to market faster, get the advertisements created faster, have the store and availability to ship faster, then you can really you can take a validated, proven idea, improve it, bring it to market immediately, and really take off. And so I've seen it happen. It happens all the time. So let's look through some of these. So we see that this one, has 260,000. It looks like a board game, right? So some of these are going to be more fitting. Some of these are going to be less fitting. This looks like a reasonable one. We see 28 days to go with already 400% funded, right? $80,000 or so. It looks like it is, let's take a closer look at this. So it's like a tripod, extendable legs, remote shutter, compatible with your smartphone and your camera. Right, so they've done a good job here. It's compatible with DSLR and GoPro, perfect for travel and daily use. Right, very small. So you set it up kind of just immediately like this. Obviously, these are the types of products that do very, very well on Facebook advertising, very video centric, kind of appealing to the eyes, really look like a good idea immediately. Very portable, extendable legs, so you can really set it up to be very top heavy. They've done a fantastic job, obviously, with this. So that's something that, I would definitely write down and see if there's a way that I could, improve on it in some way, or, since they were obviously selling in a different currency, maybe I could bring it to the USA in my own way. So we see, this is funny, minimalist wallets, which is one of the topics that we actually talked about in the first video about, successful niches. I have a friend who does hundreds of thousands of dollars a year selling minimalist wallets, and he uses the platform Kickstarter and Indiegogo to fund it all for him. So, dropshipping is a beautiful model because you don't buy the inventory until after you've sold it for more. But Kickstarter is also a beautiful model because you're doing the same thing. You're funding the products before you actually have to pay for the shipments. And so when you have orders before you have to actually pay for your products, that is the least amount of risk you could ever possibly have in a physical products business. So we see the first battery-free toothbrush, right? Eco-friendly. We talked about the Honest Company. We see these pop up everywhere. 535% funded. And they've done a good job with the photos here, with the blurred background and stuff like that. Workstation bag for travelers. See different types of never wax again, permanent base glide treatment for skis and snowboards. This is the type of thing I would never in a million years think about, right? But this is a huge market for people who are skiing and snowboarding. Maybe you look at this and you take it and you make a Never Wax Again specifically for surfers, right? When they're actually targeting skiers and snowboarders. The point of all of this product research, guys, is to just get the cogs turning. Get your reprogram your brain, reframe kind of your mentality about looking through the internet, looking through department stores, looking through your daily life. Now I always see products, I always see opportunities, and that's really how you become an entrepreneur, when you start to see opportunities. And so I'm trying to help kind of train your mind into getting into the mindset of always seeing opportunities with everything you see, right? My mug, the modern minimalist, again, a word that we like, mug that's virtually unbreakable, right? $32,000 for a mug, which is, awesome, but also kind of hilarious. Bacteria detecting towel. That's kind of scary thought, but, again, this is a great idea. I don't know how they do that, but, you could look into it. Bifold wallet and pen. Again, this is kind of a minimalist wallet design. Backstrong, the best chair ever. $193,000. The neck hammock, better neck pain relief at your door. So these are just a ton of ideas. We could go through this for an hour by itself. I want to show you guys some other options. I mean, Indiegogo is basically the same thing. It's just a competitor to Kickstarter. I actually prefer Kickstarter because it gives you the opportunity to sort via most popular and trending, and Indiegogo only allows you to sort via trends, which is still interesting. $350,000 for a stabilizing camera is crazy, right? They spelled camera some crazy way, so this probably isn't English, but I mean, this looks like English, and they maybe just misspelled it. I'm not sure, but we're not going to go through all of this again because it's really like the same kind of thing. But one point that I want to make is I think people see some of this stuff and they think self-stabilizing camera, that's probably very difficult to make. The technology is very high, but guys, all of this stuff is made in China. The capabilities and the manufacturing capabilities that they have in China are unbelievable. You really just can't kind of understand it until you ask and try and search. So I promise you that most or all of this stuff is on AliExpress or Alibaba. You really just have to kind of work it out, make your supplier think that you are important and you're going to make a big order, and they're going to prioritize you, and you're going to be able to get a lot more than you might potentially expect, guys. So don't just discount things that you think you might not be able to sell because it's technologically advanced. All of this stuff is made in China, guys, I promise you. So the next thing that I want to look at is called Shut Up and Take My Money. This is a cool little website that's basically like it aggregates like novelty. So I went to Best Of here. And it kind of gives you just like a bunch of things you can look at, oldest, low price, high price, random. Novelty items are great. They allow you to, they allow products to be giftable, but if you have a novelty item that appeals to a specific audience, like, women who might be buying bras, this is probably, popular right now because Halloween just passed, but it's just very interesting to take a look here because novelty stores are great for Shopify, guys. Where would you go to find a glow-in-the-dark plutonium soap bar? Obviously, 7-Eleven probably doesn't carry those. And so there's a lot of Star Wars stuff on this site. A transparent lock-picking practice set. This is great, right? Because lockpick sets are generally restricted on Amazon. They only let a few specific sellers sell them. And so, there's a lot of demand for some of these products that are restricted on Amazon, and that's a great little gap and niche that you can take advantage of in Shopify. So we're going to talk about that in a second during the Amazon segment, but it's something that's very important because a lot of people buy a lot of things off Amazon, but Amazon wants to maintain kind of its brand and its presence, and they don't want to allow certain things to be sold on their website yet, like e-cigarettes, things like that. And so there's people who are making, thousands and thousands and millions of dollars kind of recognizing that gap where, people are not able to buy these things that there's a ton of demand for on Amazon, and so they go elsewhere to e-commerce stores. And so the people who recognize that trend and then are smart enough to, take the second step and say to themselves, okay, so what is not available on Amazon, but I am allowed to advertise on Facebook because Facebook has their own terms of service. So the people who find those gaps are the people who are going to, really kill it. We're going to talk about that a little bit more when we get into the Amazon section. But for now, some of this stuff is amazing, right? Stackable Tetris lights, create your own stackable combinations. The possibilities are endless. What an amazing novelty gift to give anyone. Everybody loves Tetris, or most people do. Bear Claws meat shredders. What a hilarious gift to get your grandpa or somebody who likes, barbecuing or whatever the case may be. Disappearing dinosaur mugs. right? Little mini fridges, and a lot of this stuff is available via Amazon. This website basically just aggregates popular kind of novelty items from Amazon, and then puts them in their own kind of way here. And if we click this link, we'll see their affiliate code, which is right here. Their link code is WEK075-20. So sorry if that's you, but every time that they make a sale, they're bringing Amazon this traffic, so Amazon pays them according to their tag a percentage of that sale. So I like to look through all of these. I mean, this is great. Creative cursing, ass waffle. What a perfect little, very cheap gift that you could, take a look at and see if you could find on AliExpress, and then aggregate into a kind of a novelty gift site. So this, this is a great one. Millennium Falcon sunshade, and you could put any picture you wanted here, right? Whoever's creating this definitely has the ability to print any, image onto the sun protector that you wanted. So you could take, other popular trending things, whether it was like a sports team or Donald Trump in some funny way, or something that makes people very polar in one way or another, to either really want to buy it or really hate it. Those are kind of the things that normally work from a novelty perspective. Hello, is it me you're cooking for? Yeah, so I mean, Lionel, the king, always, playing off these kind of plays on words and things like that, just really works very well. And finding kind of ideas here, Dragon Ball Z shift knob, that's amazing. So there's a ton of stuff here. It's a nap. I'm just looking through this for the first time, and I love a lot of this stuff, right? I'm thinking about buying it. So just kind of adding your own little twist to these, really just, it will pay you dividends, I promise. Chemist Spice Rack, a lot of great stuff. So I love this website. Let's move on to the next one. This is called thisiswhyimbroke.com. So this is kind of like a shut up and take my money on steroids. Like, there's some really crazily expensive stuff here. At least last time I checked, there was like a mech suit that you could buy for like $75,000 or something like that. So there's a lot of great stuff. This looks awesome, like a little Halloween kind of holographic decoration. We see some eyelashes for, potentially people who might want to put that on their car. I'm not sure why you would, but some people might. Sit on my face chair. Some great stuff on here. Fiber optic hoodie, right? These are great. LED is, a very popular kind of drop shippable product, because it's very hard to find certain types of clothing and things like that. A very successful drop shipper, I don't know if you guys have seen it, but in kind of my target demographic would be these guys who started selling rave specific clothing. So since I expressed interest in Coachella or something like that, they would target me, and they would show advertisements of these like crazy beautiful designs of like Rafiki from The Lion King with like Technicolor kind of like rave stuff, and they would show like LED shoes and things like that. And they did a fantastic job of really carving out their niche as kind of the electronic music clothing and light up clothing kind of leaders. So we see smart baby monitors. That's great. Alcohol vaporizing pump. That's kind of scary. Modern glass cereal bowl. To witness your crunchy cereal become a soggy mush. So Nerf marijuana seeds might want to stay away from, potentially. Minimalist credit card sized phone. Hitting door kit, right? So they have a lot of stuff here. This one's a little bit more crazy, obviously, than shut up and take my money. But it's interesting to browse. I promise you'll probably have a good time, regardless of whether or not you choose to buy anything. So it's another good one to take a look at. Wanello is one that's great. It's kind of like a product social media site. Like, I would kind of describe it as like Facebook for products. And so, you can see a lot of stuff here. Blackhead removal, right? We're sorting again by popular here. We see some cool rings, right? Some retro sunglasses. A lot of fashion stuff here. A keyboard memo pad. This is an interesting one. I've never actually thought about that. Right? We see a lot of, right? So a NASA sweater. We see a lot of people wearing those. Right, so there's a ton of stuff here. We're not going to go through too deeply on this one, but Wanello is definitely something that's worth taking a look at. We see necklaces here, an infinity kind of anklet. So a lot of stuff that you could potentially find interesting here. This is awesome. I got to click this. And one last thing I wanted to note is kind of the number of saves, right? Because if you see all of these different saves, like 263,000 saves. So you know that people are super interested in all of these products on the most popular list, and a lot of people don't know how to sort by most popular. So don't give people too much credit. These being able to sort by this and being able to understand what you're looking at, and being able to have the confidence to know that these are very popular and proven so by their save count is a huge advantage, right? And so let's go back down to that aquarium sink because I'm honestly just interested. This thing is awesome. $4,500, but I mean, you could put fish in here, and what an amazing thing to add to your house, right? And then again, so we can go to Wanelo.co, same site, but we're just going to search by trends instead. So these are kind of the trends. We can see, we can sort by the amount of cost that they have, and maybe we're more interested in men's or women's products. We can again sort by that. A lot of clothing here. But some of this is really cool. Like this kind of looks like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles to me, but it's probably the infinity symbol. I hate working out, right? There's niches on both sides. There's kind of like the Gymshark or whatever the name of that website we were looking at that was one of the most popular Shopify sites. But then you can also cater to the people who, hate working out or, think it's funny to say that they hate working out but still do, right? So there's tons of different ways to approach things. Pug socks, right? These things are hilarious already. Again, rings, perfect thing to drop ship. Very small, very light, very inexpensive to ship. This is a beautiful ring as well, quite cheap as well. And this is the perfect example of something that might look expensive but be very cheap to make. So that's Wanelo for you. It's a very interesting site. I browse it all the time. Let's move on. So this is Wish.com. So Wish.com is another site that I use often. You have to sign in. I usually just use my Facebook. I think I signed into this website last when I was in Colombia a month or two ago, so it's reading it in COP rather than USD. But anyways, we can see that 50 plus people bought this. We can literally see exactly how many people have bought it. And we're sorting by most popular, but we can do the same thing if we want to sort by most popular in underwear, watches, gadgets, accessories, whatever it is. But this is just the overarching most popular. So we see slime here, bead slime, which is interesting. I wouldn't expect that to be particularly popular, but again, I don't have any idea what I'm talking about. I literally always just follow the data because the data is the only true way that you're going to really be able to, make correct decisions. So we see a little toe splint, which is hilarious. Again, more slime stuff. We see a fidget spinner with pennies, finger stress ball, some painting type stuff, a pen. All of this would be interesting to look into. We see 1,000 plus bought of this, so I mean I don't no idea what this is. Anti-stress kids toys fluffy foam slime, which is an interesting one. My granddaughter loved it. My daughter, who's a slime addict, loves it. I guess it's better to be addicted to slime than other things, but again, this is something that I would never in a billion years think about to actually include into a Shopify store. Maybe you're creating like a craft store where you have featured craft supplies for trending topics that you find on Instagram or Google Trends, or maybe you follow some of the top YouTubers for crafts, and then you get it onto your site quickly and really play off the marketing attention and the attention that these other influencers are bringing, and then kind of just put yourself out there in the right way through Google ads, through Facebook ads, to capture some of that value without actually having to create the trend yourself, right? Just being a fast follower is always the cheapest best way to really capture some of this. So let's move on to Pinterest. So we're at Pinterest.com right now. And there's a lot of things that we can do here. One of the ways that I like to do it is really just searching by products. So we see skull fireplace logs, which is funny. I think you talked about that before. We see 5 scissors as a set to help mint stuff. That's great, right? If you're creating a kitchen niche store for strange products like this, I would never expect to have this, but if you had these two, maybe somebody who loves to cook would be interested in all 3 of these, right? And having them in the same place, kind of beautifully represented, would be appealing to them. I need this specific product right here, so I'm probably gonna actually hold on and save that. We see something that goes from a pad to a chair, which is a great idea. We see some do-it-yourself stuff here. Another way that I like to kind of manipulate this is to go to buyable pins. So buyable pins really starts to sort these, via where you can actually purchase them from Pinterest. So that these people are sourcing these from somewhere, and we can, aggregate them, and put them together in a more kind of visually appealing way. This is interesting. It looks like kind of like a wall decal, but really it looks beautiful right there. Unicorn Galaxy Octopus. Unicorn Galaxy Octopus bedding. I mean, you literally cannot go wrong when you have Unicorn Galaxy Octopus bedding. And another way that I like to do it is just putting GIFs, because Pinterest kind of does a good job of organizing these. So we can also just do popular GIFs. Pinterest doesn't have a great way to organize via popularity because there's so many different categories. And so I really like to be very manual in Pinterest. Normally, I'm all about having them sort it automatically for me. But when you type in specific phrases like popular GIFs, they do sort it automatically for you. So we see some Game of Thrones stuff here. We see make time for yourself, enjoy today, kind of like motivational wine glasses. We see tiny little hands will melt dad's heart, maybe in preparation for some of the upcoming holidays. This is cool, like a little navy silver kind of bracelet, a gift for your mom. So you guys, after this one video, I don't want to hear anyone say that you aren't finding anything, for product research, because it's just so vast. Like I'm showing you a very, introductory ways for you to really take the deeper dive, right? The onus is on, everyone needs to do their own work. When I'm going through these and I'm finding products to add to my dropshipping stores, right? I have many different dropshipping stores now. I usually do keep them niche specific. I think a big mistake that people make often is they want to create one store that has everything, but that kind of overwhelms people. People really don't like having a bunch of choices. Think about when you go to the grocery store and there's like 5,000 different choices of soap. Like it's hard to kind of pick. But if there was two choices, and one was like less expensive and one was more expensive, or one had antibacterial or whatever, it would be much easier for you to make that choice. And so that's kind of the way that I approach my niche specific stores. I like to keep the choices very minimal. I think that's a reason that ClickFunnels is so successful, because it's literally funneling your customers into just a series of very simple choices, not many different choices, and it makes your sales and conversions much higher, guys. People do not like being overwhelmed. People do not like, not knowing what to do on your site. So always keep that in mind. You want simplicity, you want very few choices, and you want value, right? And so there's a ton of different things here. Drunk Lives Matter. That's great. Right. And so, we're going to talk about in the second bonus of the course, we're going to talk about, t-shirts, creating like a print on demand type services where you can do, coffee mugs. And really the only upfront cost for that is through like a graphic designer, maybe $5 to make you like a Drunk Lives Matters. And then you just apply that to a shirt and you can have it available in green, black, white, all incredibly easy. And we're going to teach you exactly how to do that just to add an additional source of income for your store. So this is the one that I was saving. I think this looks great. And so the last thing that I want to look at is called watchcount.com. So watchcount.com is actually a really cool website. They basically aggregate the popular items as far as who's watching it on eBay, because on eBay, you watch products or, you buy them, but it's basically like adding it to your favorites list. And so they have a bunch of different categories. If you don't know what you're looking for, right, you can just open up a category and it'll auto sort by the number of watchers. And then you can like take a look at all of these different products, right? See what they're selling for on eBay, compare that price to AliExpress, because sometimes you can actually literally just go straight from AliExpress to your eBay account, which we'll talk about as well. We're gonna focus on Shopify dropshipping here, but like once you get like kind of a mature Shopify presence up, a lot of times if you can find price discrepancies for what is actually being watched and sold on eBay, right? If you can find this exact same product on AliExpress for $13 and sell it on eBay for $9 profit, there's really no reason not to. But again, I want to keep this course very laser focused. There's a billion different things you could do on e-commerce, and I don't want you guys to get overwhelmed. I just want to show you the best ways to do it, and we're going to focus laser focused on AliExpress and Shopify. So this is kind of how you do it. If you want to see, if you don't know what you're looking for, you want to just browse, you can just search any of these, like, maybe we want to look at jewelry and watches and see kind of what people are finding popular as far as styles and things on eBay. But if you do know what you're searching for, let's just say, for example, aquarium, then we can take a look, right? So we can literally see that there's 1,939 watchers for this. So let's take a closer look at this product. So we see it's on eBay. You can actually see that there's literally been 2,871 sold. So you know for a fact that this product is selling. And another cool little trick that I like to use is if you right click here you can actually go to search Google for image. And what this does is it basically allows you to figure out, not always, but it'll sometimes give you a good chance of figuring out what people are actually, where they're actually manufacturing from. So when I right-clicked and pressed search Google for image, this tab opened up, and then I'm going to add AliExpress here. So now we see the AliExpress link for aquarium underwater LED lights, and we see a product that is pretty similar here. So we see that these are kind of diagonal. They have a bunch of colors here, and we see something that is quite similar as well here with 67 orders. A pretty favorable rating from a supplier perspective. So this might be something that we'd be interested in. If you can't find it via Google reverse image search, you can just take the title here and just come into AliExpress and just basically copy or just paste the title in here. So we're just going to take it, press Command C, and for some reason it's not pasting. So we're going to press Command C, come in here, and paste it. And so it sometimes doesn't let you actually put all of the words in here. And so you have to kind of take the ones you think are most important. So maybe it would be color changing LED underwater fish tank lights. So it'd be like color changing LED aquarium lights. And again, we see a bunch of different options here, and like we talked about before, we'd organize these by orders, and then we'd really get a better idea of the ones that might be a little bit better from a quality perspective. So those are kind of the ways that I like to do product research outside of AliExpress and outside of Amazon. So I hope you guys enjoyed that, and we will see you on the next one.